Yeah, hi there. These comments are for H, the first letter of your name. So you gave me some more information, and now I think I can give you all the information that you need. So first of all, you have not taken the TOEFL test yet. Your goal is to get 70. All right, so that's reasonable. And based on your writing right now, I think you're in pretty good shape here. You have good control of your sentence structure, your verb tense, your word choice, even your punctuation. So I think you're actually pretty advanced already in your English proficiency. So getting a score of 70 is, I think, reasonable. Probably you can do even better than that, I'm guessing. All right, let's take a look at some of your questions. You say, is there anything you can do to help me determine where my weaknesses are? Yes, there is. I would recommend 3 things over the next week after joining my course, and then I can give you some feedback. Number 1, take my pronunciation pretest. This will give me an idea of what problems you're having with your speaking and pronunciation of American English, and I can even recommend specific lessons to help you strengthen your weak points. Number 2, start posting speaking, independent and integrated speaking practice test. Again, that gives me more information, and I will talk to you by audio when I grade your speaking, and I will also talk to you by audio when I grade your pronunciation, right? So again, once you start doing those speaking practice tests, I can give you more information really in 3 areas. Number 1, how well you're organizing and developing your ideas. Number 2, I can tell you whether or not you have good control of both basic and advanced vocabulary and grammar. And number 3, I'll give you feedback on your delivery, including your pronunciation. So the third thing you want to do is to start posting writing practice tests. Again, I'll give you a score. This will be by written comments. Typically, my TA will give you a score, and he will give you a link. And based on your score, you can see what lessons I recommend for you to improve. And if you have any other specific questions about your writing practice tests, you can send me an email. All right, so those probably are some of the things I can do right now to help you determine what your weaknesses are. For sure with pronunciation, also with speaking and writing areas. Now, listening and reading, in those areas, I don't really have a pretest for that. And for the reading area, I do suggest that you use a TOEFL book that has TOEFL level reading practice test. My website will help you improve your reading speed of academic reading passages, which is also important. But currently, I don't offer any TOEFL level reading practice test for you. So you'll probably need to use a book for that. Now, with the listening area, I do have some instructions in the listening section of my course to let you know whether or not, you need to practice more in the listening. So once you take one of my listening practice tests, you can see your score, and then that'll tell you whether or not you need to continue more in the listening section of my course. All right, let's keep going with your questions. You say, I will be able to prioritize what I need to study most because my TOEFL exam is on November 22nd. So we're looking at about 2 months. You say, I'm not entirely sure what things are most important. How do you score the essays? Do you give me feedback through your website or YouTube or either one? With your writing, I will score you directly through the website, and I will give you written feedback. When you're doing speaking and pronunciation, like I said before, I have another discussion group, another website set up where you can post your responses there, and I will give you audio responses. You say, can you give me a study schedule? I want to point out I have between 6 to 8 hours to study per day. As soon as you give me an answer, I'll enroll in your course right away. Wow, my goodness. 6 to 8 hours. Be careful. I don't want you to do too much because psychologically you could break down and get demotivated. So be careful how much you're spending each day. Of course, watch TV, read some books, read magazines. You know, do have regular contact with the language, but I don't advise studying directly TOEFL 6 to 8 hours a day. That's probably a little bit too much on your brain. I'll be honest with you. Okay, here's my recommendation. You have about 2 months, right? So I'm going to recommend my 90-day TOEFL study guide, which has an emphasis on vocabulary and vocabulary building, which is going to help you get over that 70 out of 120, right? Now, you can complete the 90-day study guide faster and maybe do it in 60 days if you like, and that's probably going to give you about 3 to 4 hours of study every day. Now, my recommendation really are 3 basic things I think you want to be doing every day, H. Number 1, sit down in a quiet area, turn the TV off, turn your phone off. I want you to read for 60 minutes every day for the next 2 months. Read books, magazines, and newspapers. Those 3 areas. Make sure they're geared toward adults, adult native speakers of American English. So do that first. Number 2, practice about the same amount of time each day with listening. Again, don't use a TOEFL book for this. You can watch TV programs. How about documentary programs, history programs, science programs, and maybe news programs? So now we got 2 hours every day. You're practicing reading and listening with authentic materials. This is very important. You're using real world type things you have an interest in. And you'll be more motivated, I think, to keep doing this on a regular basis. So that's 2 hours every day. And then whatever else time you have, you might spend another 2 to 3 hours each day going through the lessons in my 90-day TOEFL study guide, right? Of course, maybe you can do it in 60 days and not 90, and that's going to give you a little bit more practice each day. So hopefully, if you do those 3 things, the reading, listening, and then studying at my website using my online course, if you do those 3 things every day for the next 60 days, I think you will make some very good improvements in your overall English proficiency. Remember here, there's no shortcut really to getting a good TOEFL score. A lot of students, they want to take a lot of practice tests, a lot of pre-tests, and so on. And that's not really what my online course is about. My course helps build your academic English proficiency in 7 key areas: vocabulary, pronunciation, grammar, listening, reading, writing, and speaking areas. As you improve your English in those 7 areas, as you complete the lessons and the practice test in my course in those 7 areas, you will begin to make progress with your academic English language proficiency. And guess what happens to your TOEFL? It's going to get higher. All right. Anyway, thank you very much, H. I hope I've answered a lot of your questions. I will include a link in this YouTube video. In the description box of this video, I will put the link to my 90-day TOEFL study guide that I recommend for you.